Hey guys, it's Cliffy Loam. Cliffy Loam. I'm over here in Barnes and Nobles today on a Saturday. Um, just taking a look at some books. Ran into a book of Friedrich Nietzsche. Um, Started reading it and started getting some really great information about it. Really suggested book that I suggest anybody that's trying to get out of that has a real low willpower, or their willpower is very as you can say, you're easily convinced. I think that this book is definitely for you. It's called The Will to Power, Friedrich Nietzsche. And in this book, I'm going to read something. And now, this is for people that are very weak willing. I think this is something that you definitely should read, just to give you that sense of what's going on, and how these things were written and how these things were already seen by a philosopher by the name of Friedrich Nietzsche. Here it says, and this is a small paragraph in this book that I read that's very inspirational and inspiring about how the will to power, um, how we've been kind of, avoidant on what the actual sense of life was and what we came here to do, and how we were veered away from that. So it says, the highest value in the service of which man ought to live, more particularly when they are oppressed and contain him the most. These social values, owing to their tone-strengthening tendencies, were built over men's head as though they were the will of God, or reality, or the actual world, or even a hope of a world to come. Now that the low origin of these values have become known, the whole universe seems to have been transvalued and to have lost its significance, but this is the only intermediate stage. Okay? For those of you that want to break down on exactly what he means by that paragraph that I just read, the value of life, which means we had a purpose when we were here, well, why we were created and why we're here. We had a purpose beyond from what we are doing now, but everything around us has pretty much transvalued our purpose, which means that put our value down and put everything else that doesn't matter, everything that was made by man, to be more powerful than the actual value of the life and what we came here to do and what we're supposed to do. This works every which way on which every person, for instance, that we've been devalued to not think of creating. We've been a program to kind of just do what we were told to do, follow what we were supposed to follow since we were kids, and programmed for this way, or not to do this or do this instead, to a point where people are so programmed that we don't believe that we definitely had things that we performed when we were back in way when, and this book breaks that down. Philosopher by Friedrich Nietzsche, I apologize. He breaks that down. He breaks that down on how everything else came about and transforming it into something completely different from what we were here to do or what we were supposed to do. And it's all because of the will of power, the will to power. Okay, so the will of man to power, to have control of things, to control things, in order to, in order to have power, pretty much. Okay, guys, so Barnes and Nobles, man, this is definitely something that I guess you guys, I suggest you guys do, is just invest in your learning, invest in yourself, man. And every week I'm making sure that I invest in myself, and I'm learning more and more and more. And what is your will? You know, are you easily, do you easily, like, when you turn on the TV, you're easily just programmed and you just get control where, you watch TV and anything that you see there is going to influence you to continue to do this, or you're going to follow this, or you're a person that has a big willpower. And even if you watch TV, that's not going to influence you because you already know what's going on. You only watch TV because it's a form of entertainment and you want to entertain yourself for that day or for that time. But how's your will? And do you understand the will to power? You know what I mean? Do you understand that TV, all these things around us, is meant to power, to take power from us, to control us, to program us to believing this and to follow that. And this is not what's going on. This is not important. These are not the things that are important in life. There's much more things that are way more important in life. And we have to fall out of that spell, that trance. The trance. Hypnotize. When they, everybody knows about hypnosis and, how people hypnotize you. You ever go to I don't know if it's a psychologist, I forget, the hypnosis. And, they hypnotize you to think back about what really affected you for the present day and what happened to you in the past, and are you able to remember? The same hypnosis is going on TV and social media as they advertise these things that have nothing to do with the purpose of life, that has nothing to do with anything, and they give you that hypnosis every day, and every day we fall into that hypnosis. Ever since we were kids to now, we fall into the hypnosis and we've been hypnotized. Control the minds. And there are more and more people that are snapping out of this hypnosis. Yes, I am too. I am a person that's been hypnotized. I got into that hypnosis as well, but I snapped out of this at some point in time in my life. I said to myself, this stuff it's not important. There's much more things that are more important. There's much more things. We all have purpose. We all have a purpose out here. We were all created to do something major out here. We're all created to do something big out here. We all have a purpose. We just all have to tap into it. You have to feel comfortable with yourself first. You have to look yourself in the mirror, and you have to say to yourself that I am comfortable with me. I know myself. Therefore, there's nothing else out there that can expose me to a reality of illusion. Okay? So what you think that I'm telling you is an illusion? No, what you've been thinking all along has been an illusion. Everything that you've been seeing on TV is an illusion. It's an illusion from keeping you trapped into thinking anything else is possible or anything else is real. But there are people out there that has obtained those things. There are people out there that showed and proved that it's real every day. Okay? It's not an illusion. It's not a glimpse. It's not a hoax. It's not, some people out there thinking it's some kind of worship of some kind of satanic, cult or, no, it's nothing like that. It's that these people have tapped in to what we haven't tapped in yet to, because we've been programmed to believing something else, and they refuse to believe it because you know why? They've seen it done. They've done it themselves. So this is a message to everybody again. Pick up the book, The Will to Power. Okay, Friedrich Nietzsche. When you read this book, take time. If you have to read it slow to really analyze, because I just analyzed this whole entire thing that I was just reading, and I just said, wow, this makes perfect sense to what's going on right now today. It's still happening. And this book was made a long time ago, way long. Okay, this is Cliffy Loam, guys. Thank you.